Right there. It's a good thing we never get the 87 there. Just new, innit? It would be such a waste of Kanye, look, the whole Kanye thing with Ed, it was just a waste of time. Look, them come give P 87 fucking midfielder, no, anyway. Hey, man, run to the 666 years. Yeah, right, I mean, uh, actually, I say, I'm fine. What's it? Is it amazing?
Oh, everything I could possibly need to win the scavenger hunt. Really think he's gonna send us to a bowling alley? Well, if he does, do you know how filthy those jungle balls are? We'll stand on the corner and give away free rectal exams. Okay, another 30 feet.
Oh, it's a bowling alley.
Yes. My brain is better than everybody!
Yeah. So, in the terms of special operations, yeah, obviously it was designed by military men. Well, who designed it? You'd have to ask. It would have been, I think, either World War I or the Germans, isn't it? Yeah, it's one of them. I don't think Britain created it. Yeah, but it's not necessarily just military. So obviously, Google it. It'd be just hard just to find just the general meaning of what special operations is, isn't it? So let's give it a go. So I would think it would have been World War II. So like what happened in what's it called, Nakashima. That would have been like a special ops, innit? Like probably one of the first times they ever did it. I never really looked into that shit, but so uh, I said fire to the rain, yeah. Right, so see, it's gonna mainly come up with like a military background because that's really who created the idea, some sort of military. It's like doing shit that the normal ones couldn't have done, and they had to create this whole fucking idea. But you can see anybody, any group can have a special ops, like people who do shit. So like, what's it called now? So espionage shit. That's like special operations, yeah, where they technically what they're doing, not everybody could do. So that's the word special, innit? So special has always mean unique, innit? Not ordinary, innit? Or not the known, something along them lines, innit? So these men, they were never meant to leave, I guess, the target or any anything remotely looking like evidence to what the target was doing. So the backup plan was to have the target look crazy. One would ask. I mean, but plenty of geniuses were labeled as crazy along the way, innit? So, bitch. Boy, them bad man are fuck. I mean, you man will never ever again in your life see something like this. Yeah. You won't have a job at the end of it. A normal clearance, bitch. That's it. Your man has been punished out here. Did something wrong, and look into yourselves, innit? And think about that for yourself. You would know how it works. Y'all did something wrong. They're not going to come and tell you, are they? They're just going to punish your client for it, innit? Leave you to wonder why and all that.
But the thing about the pattern awards is like they literally have expressed perfectly what you were going to get, and you got what you were going to get. It's not like they duped us right at the end and were like, hey guys, we've taken out the pets and you're just getting a T-phone. Yeah, you need that.
So you can see teamwork, special operations team. You get me, innit? So the special ops team is, well, I would say I don't like the word cover. I don't like the word cover, but obviously you're the target, so they're basically watching every move. Innit? Obviously, because technically we're in the urban streets, we are in a town and city. One person can't be an actual target for assassination like that. Yeah, so i.e. they can't deploy lethal forces, so they have to use other means. Yeah. So because they can't just use lethal force because of the context of the situation, they have to create a whole situation around the individual, various forms of rumors and lies, and then you have what you call miscellaneous. So miscellaneous. So you can. I hope you heard that white boy in the background. So you can hear him now going off with himself. Oh, you can't stop it. You can't stop it. Yeah. So what I've been doing to these men that they're using on YouTube, I tend to focus now mainly on the British FIFA streamers. Yeah, mainly them because it's a Brit that's doing all of this. It's a British Special Operations Team. Obviously, white man linked together, innit? So obviously, you can see stretch to play other places and that. But I ain't seen them using no Russians though. Suck, yeah, what I mean, when you might get a Russian to use, yeah, I'll kneel, yeah. So you can see you're talking about teamwork. America's an ally of Britain, isn't it? FIFA and Microsoft is a British company, is a American company. I mean, so you see they're crying about, oh, if you heard him, you said, oh, you can't stop it. Because guess what? That's how nasty they are, yeah? They know they got beat, they know they lost, and they're the ones who now have to definitely hide. They know for 100% they can't show the faces on the court, yeah? No. And you know what I mean? Nobody wants to lose, nobody wants to bow down. What's the difference between bowing down and hiding, isn't it? Is there much of a difference? So you man got caught. I know the full spec on the situation. They can't come forward because technically they shouldn't be doing it because target acquisition is not a nice thing. You know what I mean? It's pretty much destructive. You know what I mean? They know they can't come forward because anything I do, I'll walk away scot free and they won't. You know? It will just create a bunch of problems for them. So you hear them out there now, you know what I mean? It's like they're on the last legs now, you know what I mean? That's them swinging their swords, you know, when they're going down. I can't stop it. You try your shit. I mean, this kid never, that's what I'm saying, these type of guys, they never leave the houses. And that's why they use them in it, because guess what? When they use men like this, I sent this guy pure abusive messages, threatening messages to kill him because he says certain things where I know that is tactical. I sent him pure abusive messages and threats to kill. Yeah, and you have to ignore it. And I thought, well, you come on there chatting shit, sending subliminals though, like I can't stop this and that. So I personally come at you, I mean, screenshot it and give you man the evidence. You still can't use the evidence. It means all of that was just a test for you, man. All of it was merely a test, blood. And you man obviously lost. It couldn't be any more obvious. And that's what you get for acting like you're a big dog. You get me? That's what you get for acting like you're big dogs. So the idea of teamwork really means, or you could put in a bigger word for teamwork. A word teamwork would be a my class of people to use that word. But them guys up there, high society and that, they say miscellaneous. You get me? That's funny. You know what I mean? Nevertheless, sounds like a fat paycheck for me, pussy. So the special operations team had completely surrounded me for the last 15 years, but completely surrounded me. Everyone I've met, seen, is all a part of their fucking thing. And they're probably sat there and the doors contemplating if they have to actually go with the worst option of them all. I'm ready. What you say online, I'm ready. I'm ready. Anytime you're man ready, I'm ready. It's just one of them things in life, you know, you have to just do or don't do. I'm ready. This is gonna take this so long, but like, I hate that shit. So long. Ugh. That's so going to be so long. Alright, so probably should have take wait. I probably should take tradable rewards. How does it not say tradable anymore? So that one is untradable. Untradable. You get what with points? You get 17,000 coins with that. These are what? You get three, you get six. No, I've got that crafting thing to do. I'll get them on tradable. Division 5. So where is milestone rewards? You're telling me I didn't get my milestone rewards? That's a bit odd. I should have got some sort of milestone rewards. I definitely played more than 20k. That was weird. So 6. I just got 6 packs, 8 packs. What? Why did I not get my milestones? Yeah, so I don't know what went on there, but I definitely didn't get milestones. So that's a special operations team at work. I feel like I want to cry. Anyway, so it's saying 2 weeks. I've only been on this week for 2 hours and 38 minutes. So as you can see, I just got rivals rewards, so I must be one hell of a player. You get me? Must be one hell of a player to win my 7 games in 2 hours and 38 minutes. You get me? Innit? I must be one hell of a player. Though. Oh, yeah, I find it very strange that I didn't get my thing, innit? My what do they call it? My what the hell is that shit called? Yeah, whatever that was. It. I find it very strange that I didn't get it. But you can see how this would translate to them financially robbing me as well. So it even works out for me, innit? At some point, you're gonna come, oh, we are having a problem where certain people did not get their milestones and all that nonsense. At some point, they come out, oh. Yeah, you didn't get your milestone rewards, did it? So you see OSDK come blocked. So normal people say communications, and it's only this fucking soldiers that use the word comms, isn't it? Like so come, innit? Remember that game back in the day? Special operations, innit? So come.
I'm Derek Ray, and my commentary partner here on the gantry is the former Arsenal and West Ham player Stuart Robson. And what we have to look forward to is the first game of the campaign in division rivals. It's fish and chips, and they take on the
So I need to check what I finished the first season, how many games I played in the first season. Hope I remember after this one.
and here's the lineup for fish and chips. Everton with
So we're gonna see the special operations team at work, eh?
alongside Alessandro Bastoni in central
See
midfield.
these men are attacking with military precision. Bro.
In central midfield,
Just watch this, just watch this.
Firmino starts alongside Martinez.
Military precision. Look at it. Military precision. Look. Military precision. Yo, they think these men are using a sniper, bro. Every fucking pass is pinpointed, bro. The man have laser beams, scopes, everything at work. You get me? Full Monty.
They've given it away.
Look at that.
Looking like there's the appetite for fish and chips.
Mm.
Keeper comes to it. Mosley, it's almost taken us a bit by surprise. It seems like only yesterday he was signing for the club, but today
No
he's
chance.
picked up a century club appearance.
And look at it. I can't even get the password. Look at the military precision. Look. About them tackling is precise, passing is everything for them is precise.
Alex Iwobi, the goalkeeper. Cant starts alongside Frenkie de Jong
Yeah,
in
look.
central midfield.
So it says I've only been on for 2.5 hours this week, and somehow I won 7 games for rivals. And you can see, you can clearly tell that that don't make sense when you watch the gameplay. You get me? And you just been breezing through everyone. That was 15 minutes a game. So what? 15 minutes a game. That's an hour. Yeah, for 4 games, and then three would be 45 minutes. Yeah. So it don't even make sense on paper.
Next, return to Cant. Pushed into the penalty area. Here's a chance. Heading in by Bruno.
Yeah. What the dude?
Top of asking. What more was required? Martinez.
Can't even just bar roll away. I tell you, everything these guys do is so precise. Precise passing, precise tackling. I mean, I've long been saying that what the defenders I'm playing against is target acquisition, bro. These men have got some form of homing device or tracking device on me, blood, like the way they tackle me, blood.
Martinez. And Roberto
Yeah, look, back
Carlos.
to the way they tackle me, bro, is unbelievable. Like some sort of tracking device, but man, I'm always there, man. I need one of them things like what you call it, flare, innit? Yeah, I need one of them. Blood. I mean, I really need one of them.
They might be able to get in now.
Look what I'm saying.
He should be doing better from there, Stuart.
So I got a full empty net, and you're telling me I don't care what a keeper.
Through cross.
Nah, he went back to. Mm. Oh, should have been more direct. Ooh. I need to lock him in that corner. Can't lock him in. Turning back. He's turning back again. Need the Jean. Need to get control of the Jean. I need to get control of the Jean. Come on, Rodrigo. Let's get down the line, bro. Look at that. Yeah, special operations, bro. There is a. Yeah, Kenny's a bit weak in passing. I kind of do like character feeling. Most of the time, I do like it. He's getting up the pitch now. Mm. So you there. So you there. Plus you quite the Jean. Okay. Mm. No fucking way, bro. Obviously, most results in a foul. So, alright, so I'm kicking it to my left on the screen, yeah? No, look at this shit. Hmm. Oh, you suck. Mm. I ain't no intern, bitch. Fuck you. I saw that. No chance. I'd rather eat glass. Yeah, so I don't know why I didn't get my milestones. I find it really strange. And what is it? Club Stadium, yeah, yeah. So I don't know how I didn't get my milestones because obviously I played what's that? 300, 344, 47, 47, what's that? Wait, let me go. Let me do it over, yeah. So if I move the 23 over, that's 59. The 159 and 208 is 307. No, wait, no. 157, something like that. So 300. Plus the 150, 200 plus the 159 is 359 plus the 8 is 367. So I played 376 games. So I'm more than done the milestones. I don't understand why I didn't get my milestones. So I'm very sure at some point they're going to pop up. Oh, you didn't have receive your milestones. They're aware of some problems. So they always seem to, excuse me, they always seem to be taking my shit, taking my money, fucking with my stuff, not giving me the stuff I'm entitled to, all sort of shit, and having me complain and cry and then they go, oh, we're so sorry. We didn't realize there was a fucking mistake. I tell the special operations team, unfortunately for you, man, yeah, you're not coming out of this unscathed. Yes. One of us are getting really, really, really fucked up in this situation. I promise you. Even if it's me, it has to go down that way. Alright. And I put a stop to you man doing it 100%. And I ensure that you man can never do it again. Never. No. So in the first season, we had what, 3 foot champs in the first season. We got 8 wins in the first one of FIFA 24. So you can see a special ops team went out of their way there. You get me? And then I got 6, and then I got 5. It got worse and worse. So this week I might get 3, innit? And the next week might 2. Oh yeah, and then one weekend. Yes, 4 week. It was 4 weekends. I played on Friday, couldn't qualify, only got 2 wins. Played on a Sunday after about 400 games to get back the qualification points because I was only in Division 6. So it would have took for fucking ever. Yeah. And I didn't even qualify the Sunday after playing the qualifier twice on the same fucking weekend. I mean, I didn't even qualify. I actually wanted to do Raphael. I actually wanted to do. Just don't know if it makes sense. I actually want to do Raphael. Yeah. I'm already bored of this team already, bro. I've got another 900 games to play with them. Ugh.
Well, the weather forecaster promised us an agreeable day for football, and that's exactly what we've got. I'm Derek Ray, and my commentary partner here
That's from England, bro.
is the former
Let's
Arsenal
watch
striker
his
Steve
gameplay. Yeah, let's watch his gameplay.
and we're getting ready to bring you total rivals action. It's the top cookies, and they take on the founders. Yes, thanks as always, Derek. We've got 2 good teams here, so I'm anticipating a really good game. The atmosphere will be electric inside the stadium before kick-off, and hopefully we're not disappointed. Weston McKennie is the lineup for today. Both had it down to 4-5-1. It's actually more like a 4-2-3-1. They play with 2 holding midfield players, a number 10 and 2 wingers. This is a right back three. And here's the starting lineup for the Founders. Alex Meret is the
Look at the
keeper.
game.
Cant starts alongside Spencer de Jong in the centre of midfield. And the idea is to have just the one striker up there trying to pose problems for the opposition. And the Founders moving the ball forward with purpose.
Look at this fucking shit, man. They got players all over the floor for no reason. Listen to that fool trying to act like, oh, he's trying to pretend like he's got the same gameplay as me. is this little fool called Nepenthe. He's some British fool, isn't it? Trying to act like he's got the same gameplay like me. He's a liar, one. He's such a snake. He's always trying to make out like me and him have the same gameplay. Yeah? Because I always, if you go on any of my videos, you will realize I've proven that it's the same gameplay. I don't just say it, you get me in it. I proved it. And that's me in it. I don't just go around saying stuff. Bro. Yeah, I ensure to prove it with actual evidence. Yeah, you'll never prove it, bro. Never. He just tries to say what I say. Yeah, I mean, because it is psyop, so other people out there who watches his video start thinking that way, like, oh, it's true. Like, he's just trying to be like me, bro. Like, the hate of it. Look at them. Look at his players. Look at his team, bro. Look at his team, bro. Like, look at his team, bro. Well, how is he getting three players to stick with me there? Yeah. How did he get them three players to stick with me there? Yeah. He's only got control of one, and he's only got RB. So what is the third player there doing? Yeah. So the whole time, all of that, I did that on purpose. Yeah. Look at it from here. Yeah. Watch my defender move out of the situation. And just watch the three of them just coming up with me. Coming up with me. And look at the guy in the white and red boots, yeah? I could have passed the ball ages ago. I just did it on purpose just to show you. How is he getting these three players to all come in the situation? He can only control two. So why is the third man involved? Where is the third man coming from? So that's the British Special Operations Unit hacking my shit, you get me? Yeah. So they're letting the little English boy win. I mean, it's you that don't stand a chance here. But, yo, that's the sort of defense I really deal with, even at the back line. Just like you see them, the attacking players are behaving like that. The defenders behave just the same. Yeah, the defenders behave just the same. Because how did he get three players to do that? You get me? You know? Because you can only have two players. Yeah, but how did you get the third one to be there tracking the same play, which basically pinned me in a corner? That looked like entrapment to me, bro. This kid ain't even that good. Fuck it. So you can see saying waste of time, yeah? You're only wasting your time. You ain't getting no bonus off this. My shit, my stock's just going up by the minute. I can tell you that. By the minute, man. Wasting your own time. Y'all fools are wasting your own time, dude. Y'all are, what do you call them, guys? Y'all are duty solicitors, dude. And I am a highly paid solicitor, you get me? I mean, you got to pay for bad service out here, dude. Well, let's get down the pitch then. Fuck it, let's go for one, just a direct play. Just a direct play. Just a direct play. That's a direct play. So all of a sudden, trying to ensure giving him the advantage by messing with my controller and messing with my internet, trying to claim that it's lag. So to get advantage over people that they target, they use tear gas and all sort of concussion grenades. Yeah, they use things like that. So obviously, because obviously they want to get the enemy or whatever, so they'll use little things like that. So you can see, messing with my internet is technically in the same context of how they'd use tear gas and shit like that, innit? You know what I mean? To disorientate the player and distract the player and that, you know what I mean? So that's why they're doing that with the internet. Why can I not shoot the ball there? No, all of a sudden I can't stop this kid there. No, it's the whole game. Go and look at my defensive stat. No, it's the last game I could tackle. The England flag came up, and all of a sudden I can't tackle. Look, all of a sudden I can't tackle. Look at how he's beating me. Yeah, and then he's doing this. That fucking transistor. So Pop, you can see her name is Pop. In England, Pop means prisoner of, partner of a prisoner. So i.e. a girlfriend of some nigga that's in jail, innit? Look at this. All of a sudden, everything just skying over the top. So you can see Pop on her name. She's called Pop. Yeah. England. He's got the English flag and he's using Pop. And Pop means partner for prisoner. You get me? I don't know what partner that is. Yeah, because I certainly don't want them bitches from around there. But I can tell you that. I die a million deaths, a million lonely deaths before that. But Christmas is coming. Don't you worry. I'd rather be lonely, man. I'd rather not have a soul to speak to than one of them also. Yeah, but them get a bad from the thing, bro. Off the list. I just want to kick the ball out. I'm just trying to kick the ball out. I can't even kick my own ball out, bro. I just want to kick the ball out for a true. Just a true. Just a true. Just a true. I just want to kick the ball out for a true. As you can see, just want to kick the ball out for a true. I'm just trying to kick the ball. Look at my control. I'm just trying to kick the ball out for a true. I just want to kick the ball out for a throw. I just want to kick the ball out for a throw. I just want to kick the ball out for a throw. I just want to kick the ball out for a throw. I just want to kick the ball out for a throw. I just want to kick the ball out for a throw. Mm. I like this shit. Man. So Harrogate is someplace in England. It's Steve's S and waste of time. So you blatantly see them robbing it and it says waste of time. If you see, if you look at the coin value, it's 466. And if you look at the score line, that's A666. Alright, so you can see the 666 there. It says waste of time. Corinthians. Corinthians is some form of Bible verse. Yeah, Corinthians in the Bible, yeah. So what's it called? Laura Fiber. So one, two, three. So we're gonna look at pop, we're gonna look at Corinthians, yeah. And what's the other one? 666, yeah, 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 yeah. So first we're gonna look at what Corinthians is, because that badge is from Corinthians. So we'll have a look at the badge here. Where we at now? Corin, Corinthians, yeah, Corinthians. So Bible verse, yeah, Corinthian Bible verse. Okay, the Bible has two letters addressed to the Church of God in Corinth, which are in Corinthians and Corinthians 2. It says, "Unto the Church of God, which is Corinth, to them are sanctified in Christ, yeah, called to be saints with all that is every place, call upon the name of Jesus Christ, all that." Both there, blah blah blah. You get the whole picture, yeah. So you can see Corinthians is a Bible verse. Obviously, everyone knows about the Church of England and the Romans and all that, the Catholics and all that, all that, all that. So then, so you can see the three sixes, one, two, three. So it says angel number there. So we're gonna go on meaning. The fair of the sixes, 660. There's a number of the beast. It's called hexa, hosio, hexiconta. Exophobia. Like, what kind of word is that? Phobia is that called? Yeah, the same word. Which is a fair of 616, 616. And the hexaphobia, which is the fair of 6. So a hex is like a spell, a curse that witches or warlocks or somebody with some magical powers can put on somebody in it. Yeah. So that's why they've got the hex there. So a hex, a phobia. Phobia means fear, innit? Yeah. So you can see what the three sixes represent. So how ironical is that, yeah? He had the Corinthians is his name. He had the big England flag. He had Corinthians. He had three sixes in his name. And the white girl that is from that German player, Pop. So Pop, P-O-P, and um, what does, yeah, what does it mean? Yeah. Pop. Okay. Make a light of explosive sound, go somewhere in a short time, often without notice. She popped up, yeah, of a person's and opened wide and appeared to bulge, especially with surprise. A light explosive, informal, a sweet, a fizzy drink, a patch of bright color with a light of that, right? Okay. So then we go pop, and then so that's the what's it called? Abbreviation or anagram one, whichever one. Pop part partners of prisoners, pri- what's it called? Partner of prisoners. So we had Corinthians, we had the mark of the beast 666, and we had Pop just running through and doing what she liked. Yeah. So yeah, okay. So Pop, yeah. So let me put a space there. That partners of prisoners. Right, okay, pop that someone released from prison on license or parole, people on probation, partner, prisoners. So you can see where pop is a very important context because you also have partners of prisoners, people on probation. Yeah, so partners, partners, partners of prisoners. So partners and prisoner and family, blah blah. So you see, pop has two fucking meanings, yeah? People on probation, partners of prisoners. You get what I'm saying? So and then you have 666, and then you have some fucking Bible verse circuit talking about them who are called to fucking saints. Are they taking the piss? Alright. So the story goes, the devil was chained. Yeah, so you can see it there, pop. Yeah. The story goes the devil was chained under the ground, under the earth. And on in such a time the devil shall come and walk there amongst men. So you can really see what I'm actually dealing with here. You get me in it. The insinuation, whether they meant that or not, which I'm 100% that was all cooked up and premeditated. The exact way the game play out, everything about the game was scripted to the max. Because if you see at the start of the game, I bet you they won't show the miss that Z. Yeah, look at this miss. Yeah, look at this miss. Yeah, so scripted. Look at all the net to the side. Such a look how high he kicked it for no reason at all. Absolutely no reason. It weren't even a miss. It was high and wide. So fucking scripted. So you could see the England flag with the skull in the middle, just at the back. I've never seen that tifo in the game. If it's in there, I've never seen it. So certainly, I didn't have access to it. Yeah, I certainly did not have access to it. So you can see 6 6, and then below it is 6 6 4 6 9, and then and 9 is an upside down 6 as well. So 1 6 2 6 3 6 6 6 6. In the match value match awards, a 1 6 a 2 6 a 3 6. And if you look at that badge is some from a Corinth. That's the team called Corinthians something. And how suspicious is that? The 666 stands for the mark of the beast, the Antichrist, all of that, whatever. Then they have some Bible verse that, well, according to Google, the main verse is about those who are called in the name of Christ to be saints and all that. Then he had a big England flag. And everybody knows England was always a country that claimed to be religious and have the Church of England. There are all sorts of shit going on here, yeah. And then you have partners or prisoners, people on probation. So is a man trying to say I am the devil? Is that what I'm trying to say? With all of this, is that what a man's really trying to say? I'm the fucking devil, blood. Because the devil was chained. I'll go and find. I'll go just for the fun of it, you know, just for the fun of it, just for the fun of it. But that sounds like there's no way all of that could be a melting pot and come out with them connections there. It can't be a coincidence. Because yeah, there's mental illness, yes, there's delusions. But what a fucking delusion, bro. How did that delusion play out in that way? You get me in it. So the devil being changed, yeah? So if you watch certain movies, they'll insinuate about underground prisons for, like in Suicide Squad, where they've got these black site prisons where they've got people locked up in solitary confinement and that. So, in other words, the devil is chained apparently under the earth, for want for a better phrase. Um, he's essentially a prisoner. He's essentially a prisoner. That's what it's really describing. So in the Bible, yeah, the devil is chained by an angel for 1,000 years and thrown into a hole without a bottom. Satan will be chained in the sense that he will not be permitted to leave the earth, and there will be no one there to tempt. Satan was not chained and kept in darkness like those angels mentioned in Jude. So you have Jude Bellingham from England, and two Peter 2, because he still had a role to fulfill in God's plan. So you can see Satan was essentially trapped and in isolation, but not like the rest of them, yeah? He was in isolation, he was technically a prisoner, but he was still allowed to roam around, didn't he? So anybody that sees my life, like, whether or not there's a delusion or not, how who could make a delusion sound so sensible and like there's a pattern to follow there that led man to here, you get me? Innit? I don't like you, man, but like, call yourself saints. Or devils, I've never liked saints in the end. Tell holy Christopher and any one of you, man. Fuck you, innit? I was born who I am and I don't give a fuck. Bro. I don't give a shit, man.
Hello, it's great to be with you, and I don't think anybody is going to complain, especially about the weather. My name is Derek Ray, and sitting next to me here on the commentary gantry is the former Arsenal and West Ham United midfield man, Stuart Robson. And what we have coming up for you is a foot rivals match on the menu. Stuart, your expectations? And here's the starting lineup for the Falcons. Alex Merritt is the goalkeeper. Their cant starts alongside De Jong in the centre of midfield. And they will not bring just the one striker looking to do a bit of damage. Oh, very big moment here. And he's kept it out. High strength. Somehow reaching it. He's driven in the corner. Serginho next. Rest here. Looks promising from the master. Cant. On to Rodriguez. Impressive.
Fuck off. Oh, yeah.
Well, hello to you and welcome to another exciting game brought to you by EA TV. Guy Mowbray here and Steve Smith is here to come and take with me. And we've got a division rivals game on the way for you. It's the Rebels and they take on the Founders.
Well, cheers, guys. Great to be here. I think it's important both teams are focused from the off-go and they start quickly. I'd love to see some goals. Hopefully, I've not just cursed it.
Here's how the Rebels line up today. Victor Bulaci is the goalkeeper. Ibrahima Konate plays alongside Nathan Ake as the centre backs. And in attack, Julian Alvarez starts alongside Ivan Origi. And this is how the Founders team looks today.
Really loads of confidence here, guys.
And plenty through coming his way.
If you look at well, on the way you see assist goals, so you know obviously when you completing the challenges, what you see again, then you continuously see that same fucking pattern of 3 times 6. So you have 3 on the top and 6 below. 3 6 is 80. In other words, if you put them beside each other, it's fucking 666. But like, Why is these man constantly fuck? Yeah. So, and if you look at this was delivered to me by um. This was delivered to me by fucking what's it called? Equans. And look at the card there, yeah. So you can see it. Yeah, you can see it there. What does it say there? There, you can see it's blatantly blue. I obviously didn't create this fucking card. That's the company that created the card. This is a sorry we missed you card. Yeah. And you can see there, that's the number that they gave. Yeah, I mean, are these man taking the piss?
Can go, the more can go, and then a rare electron players pack as well. I couldn't hear the game there. Alien centre mid from Juventus. Because I can hear it now. It's Caruso. You guys would be able to hear it the whole time. Don't worry about that. And nothing else too valuable there. And Nesri is a duplicate. I shouldn't throw them away given how many players we need for Centurions, but hey ho, rare players pack number one. Are our rivals rewards going to be any good for us? German or right mid? It's going to be Serge Gnabry. It's not bad. It's not bad. Another little bit of follow. But from all of these rewards, 84 Koulibaly in there as well. From all of these rewards, it's just not great, is it? It's not great. It's not awful, but it's not great. No specials, no info, no nothing. Spanish goalkeeper, unless it's the ladies. No, we get Camavinga. Yeah, I'll hold on to Ramiro Palazon for right now. Let me go and fill up the Centurion stuff, guys, and I will be right back. All right, guys, welcome back. I managed to complete enough of these things. I can't remember what they're called to get the next tab of the milestone done as well. And a little bit over the top, so it's 23 out of 30 now. I also did do the Mega Pack SBC that EA released for Centurions Challenge 3. So I'm going to open all of this and then I'm going to resubmit everything we've got back into the Centurions Challenge. We won't obviously be able to get too far, but I didn't use Alex Romero and everyone. We won't obviously be able to get too far with what we've got. But we should be able to build another like 3 or 4 or 5 more. We're going to get finished on paper, no, not finished. And unfortunately, I didn't pack Fabio here. I had luck. It wasn't there. That's 1,000 points in the bag, though, which is quite nice. We also got the Mega Pack, which is nice. Guaranteed minimum 82 plus 34 as well, which is just going to be, what is it, 84? That's versus something like that, or 80 Mendes. That's your fancy. How am I not packed Fabio Vieira as a joke at this point? That's Gerard Moreno. Some further consumers there. They're both discard untradables. And that then leaves, guys, just 7 of these. So we're going to get 21 rare golds to put back into the file. Hopefully some good fodder. Not to begin with, though. Unfortunately, Baku, Becker, and was it Ando? Was that? I have seen people get like icons and stuff out of these. What French they call them. That could be Kingsley Coman. No. Okay. Good fodder to just put back into this. And this is what I mean about this whole situation where I'm just trying to find it. Like, there's just a reason now to keep putting things back into this SBC to get to the end of it. And although we're only 23 through, we're going to get in the next day or two marquee matchup rewards. We're going to get for champs qualifiers rewards. We're going to get for champs rewards. We're going to get like a whole bunch more trade rewards from all the things we're doing. One guy Osaka or Peter Ivanovic, who is our very own first own Bukayo Saka at last. How have we packed Bukayo Saka before we packed Romeo? I don't care. I'm not bothered. It's possible that Bukayo Saka maybe goes on the first team, but we've got ourselves mean, he's cheap, obviously, because he's got a shadow for me. I don't really want to use him. One more here again. So no special class for us, but we certainly got something reasonable worthwhile, which is quite nice. We definitely got a player that really helps us. Let me go and re-put these guys in a bit. I probably have done that pretty well, but it's worth it anyway. Alright guys, welcome back. And let us go and open 3 more of these. This is all we've got left. We could build 1 more after these as well, because obviously we'll get 9 pack back from this. We're not going to micromanage it quite to that degree. We're going to get ourselves a fire cam. Let's hope it's one of the walkouts. It wasn't, it was a dull one. 284s in that pack, but that's really nice, because I am a bit short on quarter. So if we do get some good SBCs in the upcoming days, then I am going to need how many ones here. French Simian. Going to be a range to many. That's a shame because he's going to have to be a throwaway. Because again, we've got our very own shadowed Aurelian Chouameni. Maybe I should use him in an SBC, but I got caught into that trap last year. I'll throw away a whole team of players to save 184 instead of just throwing away the 84 and saving the rest of the team of players. So that wasn't like overly successful. Now, in terms of the team and our first game or so today, guys, we are going to purchase Katie McKay. We are also going to now put Bukayo Saka on taking care of plants and powers of eager creatures. Find, fix, and save. That's the eBay way. Yours is today with Jet City rates for £199 per person. Get flights, hotel, and 22 kilograms of luggage, all in one package. Jet 2 City rates. Flights, hotel, city. Onto the bench. Our very own, our first owners. Now, it doesn't actually fit into the team, so we'll sub him on at one stage or another. But in a left back here, Mendy goes. I need to go and get. Oh no, I need to actually get rid of the goalkeeper altogether, don't I? Ramsdale can come back in there. And then in a left back, we've got Katie McKay. It's not the biggest upgrade that she got, but who cares, right? She's an awesome player with a special ball. When I did use her left back before, it was decent. It's a real good snipe there. I want a fresh one, but also don't really want to spend money on a shadow. But a shadow is definitely the best game style for her. I don't think I have a spare shadow. Untradeable, I don't. I've only got catalysts, really. We're probably a bit early on basic for now, actually, because basic gives like a very reasonable upgrade across the board. Really good sprint speed boost, good defending boost, nice strength boost. And because she's got quick pass and long balls, I've got good defensive setups as well, rapid and long throw. I think she could honestly be a really good addition into the team. So of course we're working on Gio Kiros right now. We've got to do Lyle and Vila, who are most definitely on squad battles. And yeah, it is a new addition to the team. Unfortunately, we loaded the Nketiah and got an inform, but they gave a couple of with too, and some good play styles too as well. But I'm still very happy with this Eddie. I actually really like this Eddie. We scored 95 goals and 47 assists with him already in 100 games, and it is mostly rivals. Now, also going into rivals is not going to be easy. Everyone's going to have been relegated right now, but let's get into it. Alright, guys, here we go. Game 1, maybe the only game today. I do fancy for champs qualifiers. It is Thursday now. We have got to start qualifying for champs and try and get our rewards for tomorrow. What a nice team. That's a sweaty team, to be fair. It is a sweaty team. He's working on Cucurella, which is quite nice. I've been really, guys, trying to focus on my gameplay a lot over the last
Look, look, look.
I didn't have the best start to FC24 with regards to like, just getting on with the game. I really struggled with it on a lot of certain aspects, and when I made the video, was it yesterday, on like the play styles and how they can be utilised and how you can score from different ways and things like that instead of doing exactly what I'm doing here, which is just running down the byline to Nketiah. When you start focusing on other aspects of the game to try and improve upon with. And then you realise, oh hey, I can. I was actually looking for it up front. I respect it. Oh hey, I can actually utilise these aspects very well. It kind of like gives you a different appreciation of playing the game. The reason why I say that, well, Eddie, McCabe, Nketiah, that's Penrith. The reason why I say that is because we all focus, or I focus anyway, way too much on forcing the ball to the meta thing, and I don't actually sometimes sit back and take a look and say, okay, what can I do here that would have been just a better thing to do? You know, whether that be passing it back to the goalkeeper instead of passing it forwards, or whether that be doing something that's like a game-breaking mechanic versus doing something that's like a really Penrith. It's twice your better. You know, like in situations like that, like that's twice now where I've picked up the ball with Eddie in a shooting position, and this guy's got a block on, and it's like, okay, what have I got to do then? Instead of keep doing that, and keep doing that, and keep doing that, and getting frustrated, what can I do to change the pattern, to change the way it's working, so that actually I'm the one that's going to come out on top, and that might be another pass, it might be a skill move, it might be just some shielding, it could be like a whole bunch of different things. And what I've noticed, where I'm getting to with this, because there is a model to the story, or at least a point to the story, what I've noticed is, as I've got older and older and older, in like this FIFA space, it takes me a lot, and this isn't overly dramatic either, I'm being genuine, it takes me a lot of focus to kind of like continually mentally train myself into like saying, don't do that, just do this. Don't do that, just do this. And instead of it being like a natural instinct, like it has been for many years, it's now something where I'm like, sometimes I'll look at it back again and I'm like, how did I not see? How did I not see that obvious part? And it's because I'm not looking for it. You know, all I'm looking for, how's that not pen again? All I'm looking for is um, is the obvious thing that muscle memory says works most of the time, and so therefore it's the thing that I'm doing most of the time, right? That's nice.
The fuck, blood?
I don't know, genuinely don't know how I scored you actually. Had some cracking goal scoring opportunities. It's King 5, maybe. This is Cucurella as well. Here we go. Here we go. Mate, I need to get Donnarumma back in my team. Do you know what? This is the sort of game where it is genuinely going to come down to like a massive trivella. I might as well double save it there. So in short, right, in terms of like the live games, it's a bit different when I'm streaming. In terms of like games like this, where it's just kind of me trying to talk to you. Dennis Van Dyke was just eats people, doesn't he? Me trying to talk to you and kind of provide some good content. That's nice. I just don't really. What is happening in this game? I don't really have it anymore to be able to just casually play this game. And like skill-based matchmaking has obviously been a big influence in that as well. Yeah, I don't really have it anymore to just play this game casually. No, that's supposed to be a tackle. And be efficient at playing the game. So I basically like she's left the ball. I basically started getting into a position where I'm having to like hyper focus every game now. Yeah, and in a game like this, I definitely feel like if I just shut up and focused, I'll probably be a little bit more effective, a little bit more efficient. And so for the next rest of this rest of this first half, that's exactly what I'm going to do. That's a foul game, no? That's exactly what I'm going to do. Just focus on the play instead. I've got some good space here now.
No fucking way, man.
See, I should just run that to keeper. But he's trying to abuse this Doku and Rafael Leao down here.
Yeah, look at him keeper, man. That's funny. That guy is fucking keeper, man. Where's the ball? Where's the ball? Lovely. Just get him. Just one touch. Just one touch. Waiting for it. Turning back. Through the center. Yeah. Fuck off. You deserve that. That deserved. That was so deserved. I was so deserved. I can't believe I'm seeing this. Look. uh, no, wrong decision. I made a wrong decision there. I must admit that. Did make a wrong decision there. Force him to turn back. Look at my players tackling each other, man. Okay, man. So this guy, he could not get to the fucking box. As soon as I equalized, it translated into that. After all them misses, bro. Yeah, all them misses. And look at my players, bro. Yeah, like I say, nobody can tell me that this is making sense, bro. Why is my AI tackling me, bro? The ball's there. The ball's not even. Yo, look at it. I'm running across there. Why is he not going for the ball? And he's gonna fucking block me. And look, he's running across. And he would have never got that opportunity there if it weren't for that. Yeah, back to it. Just because they don't want me to win the game, they make sure to do something to my controller. It stops me from moving. And look what it's resulting to. Look what it's resulting to. Him getting fucking up the pitch. Yeah. So you see him passing the ball through my players, but every time I pass the ball, he seems to end up with the ball. I missed about 19 shots in front of the net. Yeah. 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 Yeah, so you explain why and how is it possible that I don't score this play? Because look what the game does. Right to him, as always, right to him. Yeah. And you see all of a sudden, Yeah, just watch the real life. Watch certain players in real life, in actual real British football. You'll see them start running with their fist closed all of a sudden. Yeah, look at him, man. He's making a fist. Yeah, guess what? Straight to him. I should be happy for that to happen. You know, I should be prideful. Yeah, safe. Yeah, right. Fucking safe. Straight to him again. Yeah, again. Yeah, cool. Yeah, straight to him again. What was all of them was going to? And look what he scores. Yeah. So he didn't go straight. I was in a much better position than him. Yeah, I mean, it's not even a question. It's not even a question, man. It's not even a question. But somehow his goes. I hate you, man. But I don't care what you look like. Man. Trust me, I hate you, man. 2 hours and I've not moved from there. 2 fucking hours. 2 hours and I'm not moved from there. 2 hours. 15 minutes a game. Yeah, so 4 games an hour. Yeah, 4 games an hour, 8 games. I'm not moved from there, bro. I mean, 8 games. I had what 357. Yeah, 357. So 23 and 210 is 233. 233 and 37. That's what 240. Yeah, 240, 340. Yeah. So whatever the fuck that was before. Yeah, whatever the fuck that was before. I started the game or whatever, and I've now played what whatever it was before. That's what it's at now. So whatever amount of games I've played there, I still haven't moved from that same fucking spot 2 hours later. Bro. And I will attack you, blood. Like, you know what I mean, I will attack you. You man can send all the subliminal chat you want. I ain't being subliminal. I'm saying exactly how it is. I ain't being subliminal. This time I'm gonna say exactly how it is. I will attack you. Bro. I don't care where in England you think you're from. I don't care what kind of English family you think you're from. I don't care what kind of English job you have. We'll attack you, bro. I don't care what church you come from, what part of the British government you come from. We'll attack you, bro. You could be a fucking preacher for all I care. Two fucking hours, bro. And I'm still at the same place where I started 2 hours ago. 2 hours ago, and I'm still at the same fucking place. So the guy before you would have saw the game that says waste of time. And he's fucking right, bro, because 2 hours and I'm still at the same place. I might as well never have played, bro. Might as well never have fucking played, bro. So in 2 hours, you can see the weekly rewards. I only had 2 wins in 2 hours. And look at the shit that I'm losing.
and then changed his situation. I just feel like it would just be better to be a little bit more creative initially. Paulina. I can't let this be a goal. I don't mind it being a free kick. I can't let it be a goal. Lots of save Ramsdale, and that's full time. The last 15 minutes of that game, he started creating more chances than the entirety of the rest of the game. And I don't know why you always want to play like that. I don't know. With that being said, he literally had 4 shots, and 2 of them were on the last, like, his goal in second half extra time, and that shot right at the end there.
Back to him again.
How mad is that?
Yo.
Otherwise, how mad is it? I genuinely don't know how I didn't just put about 7, 8, 9, 10 goals past this guy. However, doesn't matter. We've got to win. We're going to sit here and find out our Champions playoffs now. So Champions playoffs rewards for tomorrow. Hopefully, I would like to think 8 wins would be where I'm at. 2, 10, 9, 8, 6, 5, yeah, I'd like to think that I could get to the 8 wins on this occasion. Maybe I can, maybe I can't. But that is going to be the end of the video for today. If you enjoyed watching, please like, comment, subscribe to the channel. So we immediately assume that the way we want to play the game is the way the game like should be or should be played, you know, and it's seldom like that. Is there a disadvantage to you if you stream on both, even if your views are low on Twitch, or is it harder work? No, there's no disadvantage. No, they're like even at 300 people, it's still better than not streaming, I suppose. We build up that audience. The one thing I feel like is like if I was a viewer of something that was not streaming, is I wouldn't feel like they were there for me. If that makes sense.
Well, hello to you and welcome to another exciting game brought to you by EA TV. I'm Guy Mowbray and alongside me for commentary is Sue Smith, and we've got a division rivals game on the way for you. What are we going to get?
Which is why maybe the chat's like just slower than it has been.
So let's watch this Griezmann now. Watch this guy with this Griezmann now, yeah? So anytime I come up against Griezmann, it's like everybody who uses Griezmann is at the top of their game or in some level of form. Like look at the game is going through my legs, just like I just don't want to waste my pauses so early. You know? This guy got Griezmann, Holland, and fucking Son. Yeah, let's watch his shit. No, he's so like he's spectacular at defending. He's fucking everything, bro. He's cutting back. He's cutting back. Yeah, some random shot with Griezmann. Yeah. Yeah. All of a sudden, I can't pass fucking ball anymore. Yeah, all of a sudden, I can't tackle anymore. I can't read the play anymore. Can't intercept now. Can't pass. Can't fuck off. Yeah, all of a sudden, can't do anything. Can't tackle. Can't pass. Can't dribble. I'm unable. Yeah, look. Yeah. Fucking 3-0 up in 10 minutes of the game. Yup. All of a sudden. All of a fucking sudden, I can't do anything.
I would save myself a lot of time.
Like 3-0 up in 11 fucking minutes. Bro. All of a sudden, I can't pass, I can't dribble, I can't fucking say a tackle, I can't do any fucking thing on this game. Bro. Yeah. All of a sudden, I'm incapable. I turn to a fucking invalid, bro. Yep, all of a sudden, unable to do goddamn anything. Can't pass, can't move, can't shoot, and I'm fucking 3-0 down, bro. Yeah. Yeah. All of a sudden, I'm incapable of doing anything on this game. All of a fucking sudden, I'm just completely incapable of defending. So this guy's pretty much kicked every ball he's shot he's got in the back of the net, blood. And what he did miss, deflected back to him anyway. All of a sudden, all of us offside now. Fuck off. Yeah, fuck off. Yeah, I can't all of a sudden completely incapable of getting in behind. All of a sudden, completely incapable of reading the play. All of a sudden, completely incapable of making a simple fucking pass. But all of a sudden, yeah, all of a sudden, yeah. Watch this, just watch this, yeah. All of a sudden, blood. All of a sudden, I'm incapable, blood. All of a sudden, I'm completely incapable, blood. I've turned to a goddamn vegetable, my. All of a sudden, I can't control the ball, can't pass the ball. I mean, the players are running away from the park. All of a fucking sudden, and his cunt is 3-0 up, yeah, in 10 minutes of the game. Yo, blood, I'm attacking your mum, blood. All of a sudden. So thanks for the fucking disadvantage. Guess what? Just like a nigga would do because he feels injustice, I'm attack you and your mum. Blood. Promise you, I'll beat you with a hammer to death. Blood. All of a sudden. So thanks for showing me how things are and how it's meant to be. And fine, just like how you treat me. Well, like a nigga, blood. I'm fucking beat you to death, blood. And listen to how much of a monster you white pussy wants to say I am, innit? All of a fucking sudden, I'm incapable of doing anything. Look at that. All of a sudden, blood, I'm incapable for making a fucking yo. All of a sudden, I'm incapable. You know what I mean? Can't win the ball, can't tackle this guy, can't stop this guy, can't pass the ball myself. Every ball is deflecting back to him. I mean, can't make the ball run through the middle. All of a sudden, I'm incapable, bro. Yeah. All of a sudden, bro. Completely fucking incapable. But just me, thanks for reminding me how black people should live and that we should be okay with our disadvantage. What you're feeling is that most of us tend to be very violent as a result of feeling that way. So thank you very much, and you're welcome in the end of it all.
You've got Evo players being completed. You've got milestones and objectives being completed. You've got other objective players being completed. Nobody only got a rival, only got a TIFO. Nobody. And it's not like EA had the packs there, and then on the last day did your bait and switch and was like, by the way, we're just giving a TIFO, and everyone's like, well, this is really rude. It's always been the TIFO. And but every single person's like, oh yeah, but like I just wanted to pack in that. Are you telling me, right? Are you telling me you would rather the untradeable 100k pack or whatever pack you've got, because some of them are like prime packs and things like that? Are you telling me you would rather the one single pack at the end of 5 weeks worth of gameplay on Rivals instead of 500,000 coins worth of extra packs in objectives? Is that what you're saying? You would rather that we didn't get Team Pursuit, where you get an 83x2, an 8x5, 278x2s, and an 81x2 5 times during the season. You'd rather not get that, but instead you get one untrained rival players pack. Is that what you'd rather?
All of a fucking sudden.
Yeah, so, okay, now, finally,
Yeah, all of a sudden. All of a sudden. Thanks very much. So why is there such a vast difference between the last player I've just played to this player, where this player could fucking kick the ball in the net 3 times in 10 minutes, blood, without me being able to do anything about it?
So actually, that little tap there, but needing to give something as a reward has to be like inconsistency with how the whole system within the back end of the game works, right? But yeah, it would have been really, really, really
Look
easy
at this kid
to
here.
leave
Look at the whole
to
pitch, blood.
just
Look at his players. Look at his players. Look at his players. I've got mines on get forward just to say, but why was mines not get
just do
forward? What are
something
they
like
saying? It's inconsistencies, or are they trying to claim I'm an inconsistent player? Why did he win the ball and she was in that perfect space? That's fucking usual, blood. Yeah? Why can I not, my Eden Militao not get the ball? Why has he got all that time? Why has he got all that space? Where is the inconsistency on my
it's
part?
like, hey, look at me, I'm going to the elite division.
Why is the game constantly favouring these little white British people? So since it's inconsistency, why is it constantly favouring the British?
This
It's
whole
an American game, not
anti-TIFO
British.
is already
The
like
only difference, the only connection between you two, that both America and Britain is run by white people. Bro. Like you got a plane, you got a runway, you got an airport. When you're ready, deport, pussy.
damn right. I just played 90
Just
games in
know
one week.
that I'm gonna take, I'm gonna be exactly what I am. You man wants to dole out the disadvantage because I'm a nigger who spoke up for black people. Completely fine. You know what comes at the end of that is feeling injustice. And you know how most fucking niggas feel at the end of that? They become very violent. So I'm perfectly okay with that sort of behavior and thinking pattern because you were perfectly okay with it. So trust me, I'm not gonna be the one to be the bigger man, dude. I'm the dumb one. So yeah, that's it. All of a sudden, I'm incapable of tackling. So all of a sudden, 7-1. All of a sudden, 3 fucking minutes up. He was 11 minutes. He was 3-0 up. All of a sudden, my team, everyone's tackling each other. So it's the inconsistencies. It's not white man disadvantage me because guess what? I stood up and said things about the mistreatment of black people around the world. No, it's nothing to do with that. It's my inconsistencies. That's the problem, innit? It's not because I spoke up for on the behalf of black people, and I'm not like that pustule upstairs who is licking white man's ass. No, it's not that. It's not that. It's I'm the problem. I'm the issue. But just know at the end of it all. You believe that you had the right because people should be okay with their disadvantage. It's just the status quo and the system, then fine. At the end of all of that, man usually get violent after injustice. So trust me, I'm gonna become violent. I just need to find the pussy. And you're clearly a coward. You wanted to do what you wanted to do without facing any repercussion. And I'll sit down and chill and cuss and swear all and leave it all on the internet for everyone to see until the day I see you. Because guess what? I'm not changing my behavior towards him, man. It's as simple as that. All of a sudden. So it's not because I spoke up on the behalf of some black people, because I see myself as being capable of assessing certain situations. I realize it is true what they've said that you man are fucking racist, blood. I mean, all of a sudden. So it's not because I said that. It's all because I'm inconsistent. And oh, EA just made a terrible game that only seems to affect me. It's only affect me, but I get punished because I spoke up on the behalf of black people. Unlike that little Asian pussy all upstairs who's licking the white man's ass because he's afraid to go back to where he came from. He's afraid to leave England because he probably done something or said something out there where they want to kill his clout. So he's got to lick their ass for it, innit? And ensure that they don't let him tell him to go home. I'm perfectly okay with you man putting me through the door, blood. Trust me on that. Perfectly fine. Perfectly okay with you.
Now listen, the Palestinian people's right to self-determination, their right to justice, must also be recognized. And put yourself in their shoes. Look at the world through their eyes. It is not fair that a Palestinian child cannot grow up in a state of their own, living their entire lives with the presence of a foreign army that controls the movements, not just of those young people, but their parents, their grandparents, every single day. It's not just when settler violence against Palestinians goes unpunished. It's not right to prevent Palestinians from farming their lands or restricting a student's ability to move around the West Bank or displace Palestinian families from their homes. Neither occupation nor expulsion is the answer. Just as Israelis built a state in their homeland, Palestinians have a right to be a free people in their own land. Well, I understand why. Well, I guess I do understand why you did, but the point I never got was like, I don't understand why you don't just make them citizens and you make the Constitution say we'll never have Sharia law or whatever the hell. I guess. And here's the thing too, Kurt. If they did that, right? If they went to a one-state solution right now, because right now you're not going to. They still got attacked. We back them up. We're not going to be able to have this two-state solution anyways, because I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, Yanko, there's about 600,000 Israelis in the West Bank right now. There's no way the IDF is going to remove them. But even if you made a one-state solution and you stopped mistreating the Palestinians, give them full rights, you still have an 80 to 20% supermajority of Jewish people in the state of Israel compared to the Palestinians and the Arabs, right? You still have your supermajority anyways, so why not just make it a one state right now? Well, I mean, we're in a one. This is Israel's one-state solution. The whole one-state solution when you give Palestinians the rights, if you don't help them captive inside a wall, inside an actual concentration camp in your own country. Right. So you know what I'm saying? I mean, yeah, of course. My point is that look, the reality of it is that this is Israel's one-state solution, a permanent apartheid state that actually now is no longer permanent apartheid, but is now moved on to full-on ethnic cleansing and genocide once again, as it was founded upon in 1947, 1948. Yeah. The talk about a two-state solution has always been a smokescreen to advance this. Absolutely a smokescreen. They never intended on doing that. Never. That's why Obama is talking about it up there, and that's why the U.S. insists on talking about we're still committed to a two-state solution. Yeah. You actually look at the maps
of the West Bank in particular, and East Jerusalem, Israel has carefully, systematically, intentionally cut up the West Bank so you could never have contiguous, it's completely non-contiguous pieces of land. The Palestinian population centers are completely isolated from each other.
Watch that. Watch what happens over this guy head. Yeah. So you can see the guy with the red thing over his head. Watch this.
You have basically the northern half of the West Bank and the southern half of the West Bank.
So you can see it went blue. Yeah, it's red the whole time.
From East Jerusalem, which is Palestinian, but is being colonized by.
Yeah, you can see it's going blue over his head.
Heading east towards.
You can see it's going blue over his head.
So basically, to slice the whole thing in half, and then make sure all of these other portions can never ever.
So you can see it's gone to purple now. Yeah. So I didn't know there was a purple fucking tag in the game. You can see it's purple now.
The lie that Yasser Arafat turned down that two-state solution, they never offered that to him. It'd be ridiculous to think they were going to give you the sun, the moon, the stars, and he's going to turn it down, right? All the propaganda and the lies, because that's what they do. They never offered that, and they kept expanding their settlements, and they were expanding them to this day.
Yeah, exactly. It's all phony. It's all been a lie. It's always been a lie, and the U.S. has played along with it. So, I mean, the two-state solution, it doesn't even make sense anyway. How are you going to have Gaza and the West Bank as one state when you have another country in between them? They were like, we're going to have a land bridge. So, like, what? You're just
there were tunnels, he said. Trump, right? The little thing with that, the tunnels.
Tunnels?
Trump presented his thing.
Towel tunnels.
The tunnels. And
instead of towel tunnels, it would be travel tunnels.
Travel tunnels. It's like that is impossible.
Like how when Howard Stern uses to get to underground to his car. His underground elevator for his car in Sirius. So he doesn't have to touch anyone?
Is that what it is?
Yeah, he drives underground and his car raises.
COVID or what?
What?
No, he was like that before that stuff. He's a germaphobe. You can't touch him. And
that's how Stern goes in Sirius. He has a
Stern is?
Stern.
What was the other guy who put the globe over his head? Howie Mandel's that's name or?
Yeah, that's
he's another germaphobe too.
Do you think Howard Stern is Howie Mandel? Because that's crazy if you do.
No, they're both germaphobes.
Nothing beats a Jet 2 City break. Book now.
So you can see purple over his head anyway. Yeah?
Welcome to Watch Mojo UK.
You can see it going blue.
Discussing the 10 most evil British people.
So you can see it's fucking blue now. Somewhere
the
blue.
most infamous examples of pure evil to be found on the British Isles. Before we begin, we publish new content every day, so be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos.
For some reason,
Reginald Christie.
the thing on my controller went from,
This was the address of
what is it, red
serial killer John
to
Reginald
purple,
It was
now
also the
blue,
place where
and now
Christie
that
met his
cunt
truly
has the red
famous
thing
friend.
over his
The
head.
depths of
Yeah?
Christie's evil
He's
are
normally got the white one over his
way
head. Now
too
he's turned to red,
but also
and mine turned
they
to
initially led
purple
innocent
and
man
fucking blue.
to take the fall for his actions. Christie allowed Timothy Evans to be hanged for the murder of his own wife and daughter, a crime that was perpetuated at 10 Willington Place. Furthermore, the deplorable details of Christie's methodology and behaviour during his crimes makes him one of Britain's most unique and uniquely evil people. Amelia Dyer. Who can kill a child? A monster, quite frankly, and this moniker certainly applies to one Amelia Dyer. Dyer was notorious during the days of Victorian London for her adoption and elimination of unwanted infants. It's unclear at which point Dyer's initially honest care of children went sour, but at some point neglect turned into abuse and finally murder. Dyer herself was eventually caught and hanged in 1896, but not before the crimes attributed to her began to climb up to an alarming number. Today, it's estimated that perhaps as many as 400 children lost their lives due to Amelia Dyer's wretched acts and shocking behaviour. Peter Sutcliffe. Peter Sutcliffe was dubbed the Yorkshire Ripper, a prolific British serial killer who terrorised areas of both Manchester and West Yorkshire during the mid to late 1970s. Sutcliffe targeted women and young girls, including, but not limited to, those working in the sex trade. A diagnosis of paranoid schizophrenia alleged that Sutcliffe heard voices that led him to commit his crimes. These attacks were extremely violent in nature, and Sutcliffe's reputation grew as one of Britain's most well-known and feared serial offenders. He was sentenced to life imprisonment with 20 concurrent sentences, eventually dying in custody on November 13th, 2020. Oliver Cromwell. They say that history is written by the victors, but that doesn't change the fact that Britain's former Lord Protector, Oliver Cromwell, is an extremely divisive historical figure. It's Cromwell's desire to acquire and retain power that remains one of this statesman's most defining characteristics. It also means many different things to many different people, with those who signal out Cromwell's wartime brutality as just one of the reasons to claim that this man was pure evil. The Irish campaign of 1649 was particularly bloody, with the sieges of Drogheda and Wexford attributing massacres and war crimes to Cromwell's troops. Hero to some, tyrant to others, Oliver Cromwell's legacy remains controversial to this day. Edric Striona. What fate best befalls a traitor? If you answered with execution, then perhaps the fatal end of one Edric Striona remains justified. This is due to the fact that Striona, once a chief counsellor to King Ethelred II, betrayed England to the invading Danish forces of King Canute in 1015. This wasn't the only moment of infamy in Edric's life, as he was also involved with the assassinations of noblemen while in service to the crown. By all accounts, this was a man forever looking out for his best interests, angles by which Edric would come out on top. His gamble with Denmark proved to be his undoing, however, as he was ultimately ordered executed by Canute sometime around the winter of 1017. Thomas Becket. Thomas Becket is a British historical figure similar to Cromwell, in that his reputation remains divisive. The former Archbishop of Canterbury is known as a Catholic saint in the modern day, but this doesn't change any of Becket's actions while he was alive. The man's fancy and extravagant lifestyle while serving under King Henry II brought with him accusations of embezzlement, although these were never authenticated. This relationship soon became adversarial, as Becket played the church against the state, dividing all of England in the process. Thomas Becket was assassinated by British knights, allegedly on the orders of King Henry, in June of 1170. So was Becket a power-hungry clergyman or a pious martyr? You be the judge. King John. Heavy is the head that wears the crown, is a quote often attributed to William Shakespeare and Henry IV. However, at what point do the pressures of rule make up for a leader's apparent reputation for cruelty? This is, in part, why the legacy of John, King of England, remains controversial. He's alleged to have taken the throne by subterfuge and murder, with the death of Arthur of Brittany, although this is unconfirmed. The wars fought under his reign were bloody and often unsuccessful, while citizens were also said to have been burdened with excessive taxation under King John. He was excommunicated by the Pope, and he broke the Magna Carta peace agreement not long after it was established. In other words, he was a great king. Oswald Mosley. It's difficult to believe that the future fascist Oswald Mosley at one point was very close to becoming Britain's Prime Minister. Mosley challenged Neville Chamberlain in 1924, before eventually forming what would later become the British Union of Fascists as the New Party in 1930. His economic policies arrived armed with heavy anti-Semitic rhetoric, and his second wedding was attended by Nazi leaders Adolf Hitler and Joseph Goebbels. Mosley was also associated with Italian dictator Benito Mussolini, particularly while visiting the country in the late 1930s. All of this and more contribute to Oswald Mosley's reputation as one of the most infamously key figures of far-right political activism within 20th century Britain. Hugh Despenser the Younger. It seemed as if no land was enough for Hugh Despenser the Younger. This British nobleman seized property by any means necessary, accumulating Welsh lands with zeal and fury. However, the court barons of King Edward II soon became wary of Despenser's influence with the king and sought to kill him. Edward and the Despenser family soon became exiles after a successful invasion was plotted by Edward's wife, Queen Isabella. Edward III ascended the throne, Hugh Despenser was put on trial, and the latter was violently executed as a traitor in 1326. Jack the Ripper. Although the identity of the man behind the Whitechapel murders remains a mystery, Jack the Ripper's reputation as Britain's most evil man remains secure. The calling cards of Jack's Victorian-era crimes were many, with some investigators and historians claiming that the Ripper must have possessed some form of surgical knowledge. Meanwhile, the taunting letters sent to the police paint a picture of a deranged yet callously coordinated killer, one who was perversely proud of his work. The brutality of the crimes and the evidence found at the Ripper's crime scenes continue to fascinate true crime scholars to this day, while Jack's eternal evil continues to haunt our British history.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from WatchMojo UK.
National identity is often formed in the midst of a crisis, and few tragedies have been so important to the identity of a nation than the Great Famine for Ireland. Between 1845 and 1851, the Great Famine, or An Gorta Mór in Gaelic, killed over 1 million people and drove just as many to seek new lives across the world. By the 1840s, Ireland was securely under British rule. The tide of nationalism that began on the European continent and the rise of the popular press had energised the nascent Irish nationalist movement, but London's control was reasonably certain. Ireland itself was a land of contrasts. Wealthy, developed urban areas like Belfast and Dublin were comparable to major British cities, but millions still eked out difficult lives in the rural counties. The key for this farming population was the potato. Potatoes were introduced from the Americas in the 16th century, and their extremely high yield per acre made them an excellent staple food source. By 1845, Ireland was growing 15 million tonnes of potatoes per year, and they provided most of the calorie intake for about 3 million people.
Take your business to the next level with NatWest's free tools and resources. Tomorrow begins today.
Fast car hire connection with QuickPass. Discover our free time-saving service at avis.co.uk.
The British Empire was by far the biggest empire in human history, which does sound impressive even if we've just left it at that. Consider this. At its height, the tiny islands, famous for being damp and cold, controlled around 24% of Earth's total area, ruling over 23% of the world's population. It was a hugely influential entity too. Many of our modern technologies first originated there, and its effects can still be seen in many nooks of modern life. For all of its merits, though, the British Empire was one of the most controversial empires to ever have existed. While many other European nations have their own territorial empires around the world, the excesses of colonialism are inherently associated with the Brits. For good reason too, as it was one of the biggest of them all and perfected many of the techniques later used by other colonial powers to keep their numerically superior colonial subjects in control. Some of them have been extensively discussed in modern discourse, like its prominent role in the establishment of the slave trade, though many of them have been left out of the history books. Because of its size and its global influence at its peak, there are still many surprising and shocking facts from across the once mighty British Empire that many of us don't know about. And just as a note before we get started, there are 7 entries in today's video rather than our usual 10. Number 7. The first evil corporation. The British Empire existed as a monarchy throughout its existence, though the true credit for its rapid rise around the world could be squarely given to the East India Company. Think of it as a private firm with its own standing army and patronage from the monarch, as the EIC was instrumental in wresting control of Britain's colonies in South and Southeast Asia all on its own. What most of us forget, though, is that the EIC also pioneered the blueprint for all evil corporations to come after it. Its whole business model was set up around efficiently securing the natural resources from its colonies with support from the central British state in exchange for a bulk of those resources and military backing. It was also the recipient of the world's first corporate bailout in 1773 when the EIC ran into massive debt and caused banks across Europe to crash. It could be compared to the Wall Street bailout of 2008, except the EIC was way bigger and way more intertwined with global trade at that time than any of those banks ever would be. Number 6. 1857 Sepoy Revolt. There's no doubt that the EIC was one of the most successful corporations in history, with control over some of the most resource-rich and populous parts of the world at its peak. What started out as a loose group of merchants just trying to set up overseas trading outposts in the east turned into a state of its own, with little to no oversight from the British government in its early days. If you're wondering why we don't hear about it as much as other successful business ventures in history, it's because of the 1857 revolt in British-controlled India. While the EIC had a standing army of its own, it wasn't enough to control a territory as diverse and politically complicated as India. That's where the Sepoys came in. This is an anglicised word for Sipahi, which translates to soldier. They were soldiers picked from local populations to help the EIC army maintain control of the territory. That plan worked quite well for a while, until they decided to coat the rifle cartridges with pig and cow meat. While the reasons behind the rebellion were diverse and numerous, much like all rebellions, the cartridges turned out to be the final straw. You see, the cartridges had to be picked with the teeth before being reloaded into the rifles, which was offensive to Hindu and Muslim sepoys. It gave way to one of the most brutal rebellions in the history of the British Empire, as the rebels came shockingly close to wresting control of the whole territory from them. It caused a great deal of outrage as well, as there were stories of rebels murdering British civilians in the country. The rebellion was eventually suppressed, though it fundamentally changed how Britain dealt with its colonies. It marked the end of the East India Company and put the British Indian territory directly under the monarch. It would stay that way until India's independence in 1947. Number 5. Influence on Nazi ideology. When we talk about the Nazis in the modern context, there's always an air of shock to it. How could an ideology so opposed to human rights get a foothold in one of the world's largest democracies at that time? Many reasons are cited, including the Treaty of Versailles and the Great Depression. While they may have contributed to it to an extent, what we often forget is that Nazi ideology never had to come out of the woodwork in the first place. The most problematic parts of it were already out in the open, widely practiced, especially in the British Empire. Hitler was massively influenced by British subjugation and control of its overseas territories, especially India, as he wanted to replicate that system, but for Germany. He even referred to Eastern Europe as Germany's India, though, as we all know, that did not go according to plan. The British Empire also kind of had a bit of a racism problem, as proven by Churchill's and other British politicians of the time, frequent remarks about the colonies. Moreover, many parts of the Nazi ideology were already popular across sections of governments in Europe, largely due to other countries wanting to replicate Britain's success for their own colonies. A huge part of that was written out of Western history after the Second World War, though Hitler's admiration of the British Empire remains well documented. Despite that, the British Empire's influence over the Nazis and fascists in Europe is almost never discussed. Number 4, the Bengal famine. We're no strangers to the disastrous policies of the British Empire, so much so that apologising to them is sort of an in-joke among Brits at this point. From its infamous divide and rule doctrine to the botched partitions of various countries in the wake of its departure from them, we're saying that we could fill a book with it if there weren't already many books like that already written. The fallout of these policies is still clearly visible in almost all of its economically disadvantaged former colonies in the form of inflamed racial and ethnic tensions, as well as their economic backwardness after decolonisation. The Bengal famine of 1943, however, is rarely ever mentioned as part of that fallout, despite being one of the most devastating and controversial events in the British Empire's history. The mere fact that it's known as a famine instead of a disaster caused by artificial scarcity of resources should tell you something about why it's rarely talked about. By some estimates, around 3 million of Bengal's population died as a direct result of it, and many more were left malnourished for years to come, as it took quite some time for the state of Bengal and India in general to recover from it. While the official position of Britain has always been that it was caused by a natural drought, recent studies have found that it wasn't that natural after all. It was actually caused by the redirection of food resources to Britain's war effort and the halted rice imports due to the Japanese invasion of Burma. Further, the problem was exacerbated by not being declared a famine-hit region at the right time. One study done on soil moisture data from that time concluded that Bengal was under no threat of a drought, and the factors leading to the famine were purely man-made. To this day, the Bengal famine remains one of the most severe and deadly famines in history. Number 3. Still the empire on which the sun never sets. At its peak, the British Empire was so big that it was always daytime in at least some of its territory, earning it the unofficial nickname, the empire on which the sun never sets. That's not to say that it was the only empire like this, as other big empires at the time, like Spain, could also qualify for that description at some point in their history, though Britain held the reputation far longer than any of the others. While Britain is far from its glory days now, surprisingly, the sun still doesn't set on it, as it still has many of its former colonies under its control. Apart from the British mainland, there are 14 British territories.
So you can see here's some another fucking stupid some vacation package. I can't afford no fucking vacation. I don't know why it comes up. I never, ever, 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 ever look at vacation. Never.
Around the world, and we're assuming all of them are just sort of okay with the arrangement because they've not yet asked for independence. Some of these territories are British outposts in uninhabited remote areas, like its Antarctic base, though they still count as British territory for all intents and purposes. Number 2, its contribution to the current conflict in the Middle East. No matter which side of the story you listen to, you'll agree that the Middle East is kind of in a bit of a mess right now, with multiple factions, many of them extremist armed groups vying for control of vast tracts of countries like Syria and Iraq. There seems to be no end to the conflict. Well, nonetheless, everyone can mutually decide to call it quits and just go back home. It's been made worse by underlying ethnic tensions between the various groups, tensions that have been unresolved and simmering under the surface for quite some time now. And surely you're probably wondering now, I mean, all of this couldn't have happened overnight, right? And, well...
So you can see that guy. I don't know where he comes from, but I don't know if that's a British accent or an American accent. So their ideology is okay, cool. This guy, he's called, what is he called? I don't even know. Top tens, whatever it's called. His theory on the Middle East is that the people who influence the problems over there, or who generated, fabricated, whatever word you want to use there, insinuated, propagandinated, whatever the fuck you want to say. He has the ideology that, okay, set people were responsible for the behavior, or they are the cause of how certain places are today. And his idea is that, oh, they should just shut up, stop fighting, and just fucking go back home. Because what they did was in the past, and the past is the past. Right, cool. All right. Well, if you get arrested in this country, everything I've said online, every threat I've said online, every insinuation of violence, every hyperbole of violence, any fucking thing of that sort would be used against me in the court. I'm very aware of it, very aware of that. And the reason why I do these things is just to show a simple point. They'll do certain things and then think people should just pack up and fuck off back to where they came from. Right, fair enough. But then in the very courtroom, they'll use your history. So they'll tell you, oh, that's the past is the past. But if you get 3 strikes in any country, that's it. That's an automatic life sentence. It doesn't matter the type of crime. But if you get 3, usually it's an automatic one. So in the justice system, the past isn't the past, but set man who influence the worldwide justice system is basically saying you should fuck off and go back to where you come from. Why did you not fuck off in the beginning and not fuck around with me? Why? That's a simple question to anybody out there who has a issue with my behavior. Yeah? So I should fuck off and go back where I come from because I'd assume that is a accumulated theory and ideology as a response to the shit human get up to. Yeah? So I'd assume I've seen many of people use that phrase. So I'd assume it's the way human think. Oh, human do anything you want, and when somebody doesn't like it or finds out what human been doing, oh, they should just fuck off and leave. That's not happening this time. As you can clearly see, I won't let human go get away with this under any circumstances. But I don't care how you spin that to the media. I don't care how long I get in prison. The team of you stand no chance in getting away with this blood. Like, I ain't having it. Like, I don't care about society. I don't care about any community. Because guess what? Society has never given a shit about me. No community over there has ever given a shit about me. Neither in Jamaica or this fucking place. You get me? I've never been anywhere and nobody gave a fuck about me. And all you man have done is highlighted that simple factor throughout my true life. Yo, nobody gave a shit about me, man. Nigga, right? You man have planes, you man have airports, you have various forms of restraint techniques and various forms of restraints in itself. Fucking use them, innit? What? You don't want to be blamed publicly for the response that comes as that? Is that the situation? You're trying to hide your hand in the overall system. You're not going to hide your hand because I won't allow you. Whatever I've got to fucking say, I'll say and say and say until I get under you, man. Skin, you have to do something. You know you have to do something about this. I'm very aware the British government probably sits every day and watches everything I do and say. I couldn't care less. Yeah? No community, no family, no mother, no partner, no friend, no, well, technically I'll say, no auntie, no uncle, no brother, no sister, no far distant relative has ever given a fuck about me. You hear that? And for years I've been in this country and I sat by and I watched what was going on. I said nothing. I said absolutely fuck all. And I thought eventually you man would get the picture that at some point I'm going to respond in this way. But I guess you thought, well, fuck it, we'll do it until he starts doing try something. Well, we're not at that point. So stop wasting your breath and putting these things about leave. I ain't leaving, bro. I ain't leaving on my own volition. I ain't volunteering to leave. Just like I never volunteered to be a part of any of this. I don't know you, man. I don't want to be around you, man. And I certainly would not have agreed to be involved with you, man, in any way, shape, or form. You know what I mean? I ain't volunteering to leave Pussy. It's as simple as that. Because I didn't volunteer to be a part of anything. Frankly, I asked my mom to send me here with Michael, who I thought was my father at the time, at 8 years old. She said no. She then brought me here at 80. I didn't want to come here. It's because it came as a fucking package deal where we all came as I don't know if family is the word, but I wouldn't use the word family. But I guess you man wanted me here for some strange reason, and I don't know why, but I see why. Yeah, if that makes any sense. I don't actually knew why you brought me or why there was some form of major reason to have me come to this country. But I certainly had no intention of coming. I was fine on my little fucking mud hut on island. Dude. It was perfect. I was happy as shit. You know what I mean, like, so I ain't leaving now on my own, on my volunteer. I ain't leaving. Dude. I'm gonna find you wherever you and your team are, or you thought you were special operators. Then we will see how special you man really are when it gets down to it, innit? You have planes, you have boats, fucking hell, you have canoes, you have rafts, you have any fucking thing, you have dinghies if you feel better about it, pussy. Yo. Yeah. So feel free to use your techniques and various forms of restraint because since slavery you man are the architects of restraint. Yeah, restraint is nothing new to your colony and colonizers and colonial regimes. You man are the artists and fucking engineers behind every type of restraint element the world has ever fucking seen. You man are the forefathers of restraint. You get me? So restrain me and then put me through the door. What is it? Your man are scared that the inevitable was going to come of it, and you man would be blamed, and everyone would know that it was your fault anyway. You man did this because you can't prove anything. Anything you have said and any motive behind it cannot be proven. I'm very sure of it. And I'm willing to risk everything to prove that you could not prove anything you said. And the levels you man have stood, I do not consider it proportionate. No, not it can't be. The word proportionate can't even remotely apply itself here. And that's one of your major problems that you're having. Because how and why would you believe this is proportionate in any way, shape, or form? This is no cry for fucking help. This is telling you, you and your special ops team, I don't give a fuck who you are. I don't care what you look like. You might hear me say white people more often than not. But I really don't care about the color of your skin. Like. I ain't turning back on nothing I said white people. Britain is run by white people, always have. Anything goes on here, white people are okay with it. That's why it's gone on here. Otherwise, it wouldn't go on. But the truth is, I don't really care about your fucking skin color, my nigga. You fucked with my life. You have done every fucking thing you man can do to ensure that I didn't see the light of day. But guess what? I'm neither dead, in prison, or strapped to any fucking restraint inside of any mental hospital. And that wasn't mercy. That was basically I'm smarter than you, man. Plain and simple. Anybody that sees this would realize that you man are clearly not even capable of being in the same intellectual realms as me. You need 110 people that does different parts of different jobs to come here and fuck with me. And I'm able to dismantle every single one of your teams, every type of specialist and expert they felt they were. They have to leave with their tails between their legs. Now you man are on your own, and your police have to sit here and listen to this. The government has to sit here and listen to it military, MI5, the whole fucking lot. And even every other ally you have out there has to sit there and watch it. The simple part of it and the simple fact is you can't come and tell me that history is not important because I'm smart enough to know that if what is that saying say? If it ain't broken, don't fix it. So if I went out there and kicked down some poor person, the prosecutor, yeah, would have told every bad story about me as a person. I would have heard everything, things I probably even didn't even know I did. Yeah, I would have probably heard it in the court about me, about my history. You certainly would have used a history of mental illness. You certainly would have used a history of something that looks violent. You certainly would have used some sort of history of some financial scammer. You'd have certainly used some history of me being a womanizer. You'd have certainly used every bit of history you could to convince your jury, which wouldn't need much convincing, but you would have used it all, including everything I've said on social media over the last 12 months. Because I've been counting. And trust me, I've been counting. But the problem is what you man are always going to find. Who has a worse history of violence, discrimination, hate, ambiguity? You know, the words are fucking. There would be no ending to the amount of description I could label you, man. So you want to go around there and fucking with me and criticizing me and fuck with me as a result of your expert opinion. Yeah, so you man wants to fuck around with me because of your so-called expert opinion, yeah? And if I'm no expert, how did I beat you, man? And what's even worse over the whole thing is, your man history and mine are anything I have done wrong in this world, you man would have done it a billion times worse. So if history is anything to go by, and they say you have to judge a man by his past, innit? Excuse me, you gotta judge a man by his past. Look at your past, you know what I mean? Because I ain't backing down. I'm perfectly okay with what you man are capable of. I have seen the history of you man, and I think people only get worse. They don't ever get better. You know what I mean? So if historically you man were a fuck up, to this day and in the future you remain fuck up. So I'm perfectly okay with it. I ain't leaving, and you man instigated me being here. You used Delta for whatever purpose she served. She was loyal to the crown, and for what reason, I don't know, I don't care. But she was loyal to the crown. So you brought me in a country where I got no friends, no family. You've surrounded me with your special operation team, from officers to scientists to doctors to nurses to informants to nosy fucking neighbors. You've surrounded me everywhere I turn in this bitch. I ain't dead. I ain't in hospital. I ain't in prison. I would assume that's a problem for you, man, isn't it? Like I say, I've been sending threats online since around last year, October. So it's now the 2nd of November. So I've done 1 year of sending threats online. And until something is done about me or I find you personally, them years are just going to pile up on each other. We're going to have more than enough in that courtroom. And trust me, I'm going to have more than enough too.